Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh. Today, our group will discuss regarding our research studies, which is identifying the effective cause, illah, a comparative analysis of juris methodologies.
Hello everyone, today we are exploring one of the most vital tools in Islamic law, qiyas or analogical reasoning. Qiyas is recognized as the fourth major source of Islamic law, following the Quran, Sunnah and Ijma. It is the essential method used by jurists to extend established rulings to new situations that aren't explicitly mentioned in the primary text. We find the legitimacy for this is in Quran, specifically in Surah Al-Hajj, where it says, "So take a lesson from this, O people of insight." Its use is further strengthened by the hadith of Mu'az ibn Jabal when the Prophet sent him to Yemen. Mu'az explained that if he couldn't find a direct answer in the Quran or Sunnah, he would use his best judgment to form an opinion, a clear endorsement of reasoned deduction. For instance, critics like Ibn Hazm argue against it. He cited Surah An-Nahl verse 89, which described the Quran as an explanation of all things, suggesting that the primary texts are already sufficient without the need for analogy. The biggest challenge in using qiyas lies in the illah, or the effective cause. The validity of a ruling depends entirely or accurately identifying this legal cause. If the illah is vague or unclear, it can lead to weak rulings and inconsistency among jurists. This makes illah the most critical piece of the puzzle. So what does qiyas actually mean? Linguistically, it comes from Arabic verb qasa, meaning measurement or comparison. Technically, it is the process of taking an established legal ruling, the hukum, from an original case, the asal, and extending it to a new case, the far. Essentially, we are looking for a shared commonality to ensure justice is consistent across time. To perform qiyas correctly, there are four essential components that must be present. First, the original case. This is the case where a ruling already exists in the Quran, Sunnah, or Ijma. The second, the legal ruling, the specific rule attached to the original case. The third, the new case. Fourth, the new situation where we are trying to find a ruling for. The fourth, the effective cause, which is illah. This is the bridge. It's the shared attribute or rationale that connects to the original case to a new one. Finally, let's look at how this works in practice. The function of qiyas is to attribute the ruling of the asal to the far based on that shared illah. Think of the illah as the backbone of the ruling. For example, the original case is the prohibition of wine. The illah for this prohibition is intoxication. Therefore, we use qiyas to extend that prohibition to other narcotic drugs, the new case, because they share the same illah, they both cause intoxication. By using this method, Islamic law remains dynamic and capable of addressing modern challenges while staying rooted in divine principle.
For this slide, I will explain the concept of illah in Islamic jurisprudence. Illah refers to the legal reasons or effective cause behind the specific Islamic rulings, also known as hukums. In usul al-fiqh, illah plays a very important role because it's allows Islamic law to be applied to a new case. In simple terms, illah is the key factor that connect a ruling found in Quran or Sunnah to a new case through qiyas, which means analogical reasoning. Without a proper illah, qiyas cannot be functioned properly. That's why illah is often called as the backbone of qiyas. For an illah to be valid, it must fulfill three conditions. The first one, it must be clear or zahir. This means the attribute must be obvious and observable, not hidden. The second one, it must be consistent or muttarid. Whenever the illah exists, the ruling also must be applied. There should be no contradiction in similar case. The third one, it must be suitable or munasib. There must be a logical and rational link between the illah and the rulings, showing that the rule truly serve on a purpose. For this slide, I will explain why illah is critically important in Islamic legal reasoning. Understanding and correctly identifying the illah is essential in usul al-fiqh because it directly affects the validity and certainty of Islamic ruling. If the illah is strong and accurate, the ruling derived from it also will be strong. True, logical reasoning is only as valid as the illah used. If the illah is incorrect or flawed, the entire qiyas becomes invalid. Secondly, illah ensure legal consistency. It helps ensure that similar cases are treated in the same way. This upholds justice and maintain the universal nature of Islamic law and across different times and situations.
I will explain the consequences of a wrong or vague illah. First, it weakens legal rulings. When the illah is not clear, the rulings becomes weak and difficult to enforce. Second, it causes disagreements. A vague illah allows different interpretations, which leads to debates and differences of opinions among scholars. Third, it creates legal uncertainty. When the illah is unclear, judges and the public may feel confused about the correct legal position.
Moving to the first part of discussion, we examine how the three major schools of thought provide different solutions to legal challenges. First one, the Hanafi school. The Hanafis are known for a pragmatic approach. They look for zahir attributes. Those are clear and observable to the public. Their most powerful tool is ihtisan or the juristic preferences. We take one example. If a strict qiyas says a certain modern trade is invalid, but forbidding it would cause massive hardship to the market, the Hanafi jurists may prefer a different ruling that facilitates ease, provided it doesn't contradict the Quran. Second, the Maliki school, the guardians of public interest. The Maliki school is distinct for its focus on maslahah mursalah or the public interest. They believe the Sharia was sent for the welfare of humanity. The third one will be the Shafi'i school. The Shafi'i school represent the legalists. They are very cautious about moving away from the Quran and Sunnah. For example, for a Shafi'i scholar, qiyas is only valid if the illah is strongly implied by the text. They argue that relying on public interest alone could lead to people creating their own laws. They ensure that every modern ruling has a traceable DNA back to the original revelation. As for why this matters, understanding these differences is vital. It is a sophisticated system that offers various lenses to view modern problems, that ensuring whether through flexibility, public benefits, or textual precisions, the ultimate goal of justice is achieved. We are moving to the part 2 of the modern legal challenges to classical qiyas. Next, we explore why qiyas, which serve as a robust legal tool for centuries, faces significant hurdles in our modern landscape. This section highlights the fundamental shift, the transition from mechanical analogy to objective-based reasoning. For the first one, the problem of unprecedented issue. In classical law, qiyas works by comparing a new case to an old one found in the text. However, we now face unique issue. For instance, cryptocurrency. It is a currency like gold, or it is a digital asset. Because it lacks a physical asset as a root, a direct parallel is difficult to draw. The same applies to synthetic drugs. While alcohol is banned for intoxications, synthetic chemicals may affect the nervous system in ways not traditionally defined by the classical text. The second one, identifying the illah or the effective cause. The illah is the ratio legis, the reason why a law exists. In digital contracts or e-commerce,
identifying the exact illah for validity is complex. Is it the meeting of the parties or the electronic confirmations? Without a clear illah, a mechanical qiyas become guesswork. The third one, the risk of legal distortion. If we force a qiyas where it doesn't fit, we risk three things. First, overstretching the analogy, making the comparison that are logically weak. For second one, inconsistency, creating different rules for similar digital platforms. And the last, ignoring reality. A rigid qiyas may ignore the mafsada or the harm or maslahat, the benefit, actually felt by people today. Therefore, the result is clear. Modern jurists must move beyond mechanical qiyas and embrace ijtihad and maqasid al-shari'ah to protect the essence of the law rather than just the letter of the law.
Hello, now I will continue with my part. For my part, I will be presenting three sections, which is modern strategy in applying qiyas, the role of maqasid al-shari'ah, and our research finding. I will start with the modern strategy in applying qiyas. Today, many new issues arise in finance, medicine, and technology. For example, in finance, we now have cryptocurrency and digital money, which did not exist during the classical period. This raised questions about riba, ownership, and uncertainty. In medicine, there are synthetic drugs and new chemical substances. Scholars must determine whether these substances share the same illah as the prohibited intoxicants. In technology, digital contract and online transaction creates issues related to consent and legal validity. The main problem is that these modern issues are not explicitly mentioned in Quran or Sunnah. As a result, scholars rely on qiyas. However, when the illah is unclear, qiyas become difficult to apply. Therefore, classical methods alone are not sufficient and renewed ijtihad is needed. Next, I will explain the role of maqasid al-shari'ah. Maqasid al-shari'ah refer to the objective of Islamic law, which aim to ensure justice and public benefits. These objectives included the protection of religion, life, intellect, language, and property. When the illah is unclear, maqasid helps guide scholars in determining appropriate rulings. It is especially useful when textual evidence is silent or ambiguous. By applying maqasid, scholars can ensure that rulings prevent harm and promote public interest, making Islamic law relevant in modern society. Finally, for my last section, this slide presents our research finding. Our research shows that when the illah is clear and well defined, qiyas becomes strong and reliable, leading to consistent legal rulings. However, when the illah is unclear, qiyas become weak. This is caused legal uncertainty, scholarly disagreement, and difficulties in enforcement. Overall, our main finding is that the effectiveness of qiyas depends heavily on the clarity of illah. Maqasid al-shari'ah also plays a crucial supporting role in certain qiyas in modern application. That's all for me. Thank you. I will leave to the next person.
In conclusion, this study highlights how qiyas play a vital role in Islamic jurisprudence, as it enables rulings for new and contemporary issues. The validity and strength of qiyas depend on a clear illah. An unclear illah weakens analogical reasoning, which leads to inconsistent rulings, scholarly disagreements, and reduced legal certainty. In addition, scholars adopt two different methodologies in identifying illah, such as referring to textual evidence, using rational reasoning, and considering public interest. This explains why differences of opinion often exist among Islamic jurists. Finally, the study emphasized that maqasid al-shari'ah plays an important guiding role in modern ijtihad. By focusing on the objectives of Islamic law, scholars are able to make rulings that promote justice and societal benefit. Overall, this study concludes that Islamic law remains dynamic and adaptable, and that a proper understanding of illah strengthens the applications of qiyas, ensuring its continued relevance in the modern world. That's all from Group 7B, and thank you.